Hey guys, how's it going? It is me, Connor, or Vertex from Xpanse Gaming, and today I wanted to go ahead and start a new series that I'm going to be calling the Rants of the Unskilled Gamer. Now, in case you didn't know, the Unskilled Gamer is me, and that is incredibly frustrating because I put a lot of time into my video games, especially first-person shooters. And I'm not, when I say unskilled, I don't mean that I'm terrible at the game. I actually like to think that I'm very, very good at the few games that I really work to get good at. But there are moments and glimpses where things are not going my way, or I am not able to control things the way that I want to, and I'm just playing horribly for whatever reason. And usually that is when certain subjects that aggravate me really come out in these rage-induced scream fests that I'll have with my teammates that it's pretty funny for them to watch, but it's not really conducive to good play. And so what I wanted to make this series about was I want to be able to make observations of my own stupidity, observations of things that are wrong with games, and just tell personal stories about it that hopefully aren't rage tages or just yelling and screaming at a microphone. I want to present like an actual, even if it's not an argument, just an actual point that I want to make, and just talk about it and talk about why it's so frustrating and why I continue to do it if it is so frustrating. So today we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite controversial FPS role, and that is the sniper rifle. Now, the reason why I chose this was because this is something that I have experienced across both Destiny and Call of Duty heavily. They play a huge role in both, and they're both very controversial. Certain people think that they should be in the game, certain people think that they shouldn't, and then there's every spot in between on how powerful they should be, how much ammo they should get, how they should be used in both games. And this is not something that's new. This is something that has been around for a very long time, and there's not really a clean answer to it, but I wanted to talk about it as it related to me because I think that I have a good introspective way of looking at sniper rifles and how they can be used appropriately, and how they can be fun, but how they can also be rage-inducing. So what I wanted to start off with was telling you about my start with sniping. Modern Warfare 2 was my first game that I ever got, and I actually really hated snipers in that game. Not like people that snipe me, but when I tried to use a sniper rifle, I really disliked it. And it took me like months to even learn how to use it correctly. Now, I wasn't really trying, but I mean, it was just something that it was like, hey, let's go snipe. Me and my friends would go try and snipe, and I would just not ever get kills with it. And I was like, well, this is stupid. Why would I use this sniper rifle that gets one shot, and then if I miss it, I'm basically dead, to like the Scar, which was I was able to just pump ammunition into people until they basically died. And so I never really got into it until the end of the game, and then I was, of course, hooked on it. I've since then always been fascinated with sniping. If a game has what I feel like is a good sniper mechanic, I'm pretty much going to enjoy the game because I know that in the worst case scenario, I can just snipe, and I don't have to use all the other things. I can just snipe and have a good time with that. So at the time, I was all Call of Duty. That was all I did. I just played COD. And so, we went through some good and bad times. Black Ops 1 was more of a bad time for snipers because we just couldn't quickscope or move dynamically. We had to be very, very meticulous. But I'll mention this later, I think we all became kind of better because of it. And so then, after Advanced Warfare and after I kind of quit Call of Duty for a little while, I moved to Destiny. And Destiny has a much different sniper mechanic than Call of Duty does. Call of Duty, you've got a couple sniper rifles that are very powerful, some that aren't, but the two that are usually very, very powerful, you can hit somebody anywhere above the waist and they're pretty much going to die. And Destiny's not that way. Destiny, if I shoot you in the foot, if I shoot you in the arm, if I shoot you in the upper body, you're going to get the same amount of damage. It's just an even damage displacement. And while that's still good damage, I can still pull out a little pistol and hit you once and you're going to die. That's still not necessarily what I was used to. So in order to one-shot kill people, as you guys can see from this gameplay, you have to hit people in the head. And so that brought a new challenge for me, because I had always, gone for headshots in Call of Duty, but if I didn't get the headshot, it was not the end of the world. Headshots were just for camos, whereas Destiny headshots are for kills, and that's like the most important thing that you can do. So that was a little bit of a change for me, and I really, really enjoyed it, because I enjoy a challenge, because, Call of Duty, the whole same style of gameplay was starting to get old, and so mixing it up is always good. Well, eventually I got pretty good at Destiny sniping. I'm not trying to say that I'm Luminosity, for any of you that know who he is, or any of those guys that are like some of the best Crucible players in the world, and I've played against them and tried to snipe them, and it's terrible. It's nasty in the Trials of Osiris. And so, like, I'm not trying to say I'm them, but I am able to hold my own, especially in the Crucible. And then in Trials, I have learned how to pick my gun battles and become a proficient sniper. That was a little bit more difficult than just learning how to snipe in the 6v6 Crucible. So that is kind of the basis of my sniping story so far. I really enjoy it, and I want to talk about why do we enjoy sniping. And from somebody that loves it, I can tell you, I enjoy it because I really don't love the close-up encounters. If I could have my choice, I would rather sit back from a distance and shoot somebody than be right up next to them, because I feel like if somebody's right up next to me, the chance that they kill me goes drastically up. Whereas if I'm further away, my chances of killing them without them even being able to touch me is much better. And then I also love the fact that these have the ability to be one-shot kills. I like the ability to hit them once and them go down, and it's just more gratifying. Even with Destiny, with the headshot, when you get a headshot with a regular sniper rifle, you just hear this nice thud and their body just drops, which is just gratifying. It's a lot more fun to use than just running around with, let's say, the Last Word, which is a really good hand cannon, and just shooting people and then they die and then you move on. It's just like there's not as much satisfaction there. And so with that power that they have comes frustration if you're ever on the receiving end. It's like a lot of things in life. If you get killed by a sniper rifle, you are going to be upset, you're going to be angry, mostly because there's a high chance, especially in Destiny, that means that you got outplayed. And people don't like thinking that they get outplayed. I mean, there are occasions, and I'll do it just as much as anybody else will, where I'll zoom in and just try and fire randomly, and like Levi did last night with this No Land Beyond, which is what I'm using here. He just turned around a corner and shot and headshotted a guy. And that can be frustrating. That can be infuriating. And it's really unfortunate that people that are on the receiving end get their views on snipers ruined because of just these freak occurrences that are no different than sticking somebody with a grenade or anything like that. And so that's not necessarily what I want to talk about. You have to kind of throw flukes out the window. But what I want to talk about is what snipers do to people when they get killed by them. And the reason why I would say people get so angry is because if you get out-sniped, especially if you're using a sniper rifle, it means that you got outplayed and you were clearly worse than they were. And so the reason why I say people don't like that, obviously, is because people like to think that they're very good at things, but very, very little in these first-person shooters are there isolated events where it's you versus one guy with no external stimuli that could change the outlook of the gun battle. And sniping is one of those few things. Now, there's cover and there's altitude and things like that, but you can outplay somebody with a sniper rifle if y'all are in similar situations, and it is a true test of skill. And people do not like being outplayed. Myself and Jake in Trials are very good examples of that, because we like to think that we're good, and if we get outplayed, we either search for an excuse or it's just like, oh man, this is terrible, And so that, I think, is what infuriates people, and I feel like if people realize that and just say, okay, well, what I'm actually not liking about this is that I'm being outplayed, not that I'm necessarily getting killed by this one-shot kill gun, which is super OP, because as you can see by what I was using there is nothing OP about that. That was a hard weapon to use. It still is a hard weapon to use, and but it's fun. And so I really enjoy sniping, and I hope you guys can kind of reset and take a lot of your bias away. And remember that sniping is good because you can stay far away. You can hit people with one-shot kills, and it's gratifying to use. And not just get overly concentrated on the fact that this guy may have killed you when you felt like you had the upper hand and you lost it, so you're really mad at yourself. But that's all I'm going to have to say about this topic. I'm hopefully going to get some more in-depth bits and videos for you guys later on. This was really the first one, so I just wanted to see how this was going to go. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.